How is everyone doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Banker Next Door. I am your host, Dr. Joe Berquist. Today we're going to be talking about leadership. I saw a great article in Independent Banker magazine, which I'm going to bring up here for everybody now. So this is titled, What Makes a Leader Truly Great? Experts Weigh In. Good leadership is about much more than one individual's impact on the bottom line. It's not even just about having these soft skills that make people want to work on your team. It's about how effective leaders use these skills both internally and in the community bank to build a stronger bank. Here, community bankers and experts give insight into what this can look like. So this article basically runs through 7 traits that basically any community bankers can practice in running their banks. I mean, this is also applicable to any company out there. I mean, it doesn't have to just be a bank or a community bank. I think these are good leadership traits for anybody to think about and to put into action. Now, I will say I want everybody to, if you can, hang out till the end of the video because I'm going to go into I'm going to talk briefly at the end about other leadership styles. And I want to show you guys, I'm going to show you a book on servant leadership here by Robert Greenleaf. He was kind of like, he was like the godfather of servant leadership. We're going to talk about that a little bit at the very end, so hang around for that. But let's dive into this article here and let's get into these 7 traits. So when considering succession planning, it's essential to identify who within the ranks of your community bank has the potential for a leadership position. But how do you spot and then nurture a potential leader? Below, seasoned community bankers and other experts discuss the skills an effective leader needs and how they show up in the work environment. So the first one is great leaders put people first. If there is one trait that everyone can get behind, it's that the best leaders are highly relational and invested in their people. You can't be a great leader if you don't truly care about your teammates, says Linda Lenore, ICBA's Chief Learning and Experience Officer. Leaders, she believes, exhibit genuine care and interest in others. This would also be classified as, once again, as servant leadership. This is an opinion that is echoed by many community bankers. Justin Stewart, Senior VP of Community Banking at $677 million asset Mission Valley Bank in Sun Valley, California, believes great leaders put others' well-being first. The ones I've had the privilege to work for view all stakeholders with equal importance, he says. Eric Howard, president of $5.4 billion asset CFG Bank in Baltimore, agrees that this degree of care is essential along with strong relational skills. Great leaders foster meaningful relationships with their team, clients, and community, he says. They invest in their team and create environments where people feel valued, supported, and encouraged. John Creighton, CEO of High Plains Bank in Flagler, Colorado, says that the $414 million asset bank always looks for leaders who care passionately about their communities, customers, and colleagues, and that this is a quality that helps banks endure. Leaders who care deeply about the welfare of others are able to muster the energy and creativity to figure out ways to address tough challenges in a way that accounts for the needs of all concerned, he explains. Compassion is the wellspring of resilience, and every organization needs resilient team members who are able to continually take on more leadership responsibilities. Number 2, they make community a top priority. Putting people first is critically important, but great community bank leaders go one step further. This care for others extends beyond their immediate teams and out into the broader community. If it weren't for community banks, 1 out of 3 U.S. Counties would not have access to financial services, explains Lenore. That's a remarkable mission and can be a true game changer in a community or in the life of a customer. A successful community bank leader is motivated by the difference they can make in a community. The community bankers I have admired always had a fire in their belly for having a meaningful impact on the community, says Stewart. This is harder to do at larger institutions whose impact is more broad and less concentrated in smaller areas, whether that be geographic or demographic. Howard believes a strong leader of a bank with a large presence in a specific region needs to be driven by relationships and informed by a deep knowledge of that region. Unlike at larger financial institutions where customers may not know their banking teams, it's important to prioritize your client relationships and build trust by understanding the unique needs of the client and taking on their goals as your own. In other words, A strong leader is invested in their local area. When you are headquartered in and do a lot of business in a region, says Howard, you need to be committed to that community's well-being by supporting the businesses in the region, developing initiatives to creatively give back, and more. Number 3, they lead with authenticity. The strongest leaders can create and nurture relationships across industries, generations, and demographics. According to Lenore, this is especially true in community banks. In this relationship-based industry, a great leader understands that building a network through trust and empathy is key. She says, all talk isn't going to work for anyone. You have to be willing to follow through on your promises, pay attention to details, and truly get to know people. This authenticity means leading others by example. Successful leaders walk the walk, embodying your company's core values through everything you do, says Jack Dwyer, CFG Bank's CEO. Number 4, they listen and respond mindfully. Every leader must be accessible and adaptable to effectively support their team and clients, says Dwyer. That way, they can actively listen and respond to their clients and teams, showing that they value input and therefore foster trust. Open communication like this also prevents small issues from snowballing into bigger ones. A key to being a successful leader is being a strong listener, where you are always open to feedback and ideas from everyone on your team, and you make yourself accessible to the entire organization, says Dwyer. Then number 5, they value education. Successful leaders know that learning is a lifelong activity. Successful leaders are curious and always seeking innovative solutions rather than settling for the obvious solution, says Dwyer. They embrace creativity to deliver the best result. But they are also teachers, Lenore says, with the ability to simplify complex subjects and help others who may need a little extra support in completing a task or understanding the job they need to do. Be a teacher, says Lenore. Draw out the important keys to completion, but through it all, make it fun. And then let's get down here to number 6. They make thoughtful but efficient decisions. In addition to compassion and great communication skills, leadership requires good-fashioned grit. Great leaders weigh their options carefully. They ask for input from their teams, but they make decisions. They act decisively. There are projects and efforts that make us take pause or trigger nerves, says Lenore. A leader doesn't let that hold them back. Recognizing that progress requires action, they have a willingness to say go. And then number 7, the last one. So they lift others up. So if leaders are compassionate, responsive, and attentive, they will also give opportunities to others by delegating and giving them a chance to voice their opinions. In other words, a successful leader is always looking for ways to elevate those around them. Some are born leaders and others are shaped into one by their own experiences, says Stewart of Mission Valley. The latter is how it happened for me. I worked for some great leaders that I admired and who inspired me. They lit the spark. I think it just started to manifest naturally from there as my enthusiasm for helping lift up those around me. Lenore agrees. A great leader gives others opportunities, many small or big, she says. Leaders are constantly seeking out ways to give others those opportunities. For example, at our regular team meetings, we rotate the teammate who will be the moderator for that day. That gives everyone an opportunity to embrace their own leadership skills, ask questions, and enrich the team culture. While they propel teams forward, successful leaders are cheerleaders. They have enough emotional intelligence to read the room, figure out what is needed, and motivate their teams, even when circumstances are far from easy. The ability to stay positive, even in the face of a challenge, is essential to leadership. Lenore adds, limited progress happens when we're stuck in the negative. A great leader sees the opportunities and gets others to see them as well. So again, great article. I just want to run back through the 7 traits, if you will. So just run through this. So again, number 1, great leaders put people first. Number 2, they make community a top priority. Number 3, they lead with authenticity. Number 4, they listen and respond mindfully. Number 5, they value education. Number 6, they make thoughtful but efficient decisions. And then number 7, they lift others up. So again, I thought this was a very interesting article pointing out some very great traits that really good leaders have, and just, and it's great to hear this feedback. So, and again, I think it's very important. I mean, being a teacher, showing people. I get back to kind of, if you've ever read like the 1 Minute Manager, point out the good things that people do. Don't just call people on their bad things all the time. Point out the good things that they do. Reinforce that positive atmosphere. Have good communication skills. Think about all the stakeholders. Think about your community. Think about the business owners. Think about your customers. Think about your employees. Think about investors. Think about all these different stakeholders. Lift people up. Be a cheerleader. Be positive. All these good things that go into it. But now, at the end here, for just a second, I want to talk about leadership styles. And in the months to come, I'm going to talk a lot more about these leadership styles. Probably do individual episodes on a lot of these. But let me just read to you a few of the main leadership styles that are out there. Servant leadership. You also have transformational leadership, situational leadership, transactional leadership. You have autocratic leadership, also known as authoritarian leadership. You have democratic leadership or participative leadership. You have laissez-faire leadership or delegative leadership. There's coaching leadership, bureaucratic leadership, visionary leadership, charismatic leadership, affiliative leadership, pace-setting leadership, adaptive leadership, and strategic leadership. Now, I'm sure there might be a couple more out there, but I think I hit the top or main ones. Now, I would maintain that, again, part of what I try to do is basically I practice, servant leadership as kind of that's my overarching, if you will, leadership style. And then I put in different things as need be. In other words, there are times when there are situations that call for transformational leadership. There are times that will call for situational leadership. There will be times where transactional leadership is necessary. There are times where bureaucratic leadership is necessary with pace setting, adaptive, strategic. You get the idea. So, and again, I think it's necessary as a leader to understand these different forms of leadership and what they mean. And the fact that, you don't have to be one thing all the time. There are different situations that require you to use or adapt to a different style. And that's perfectly fine. Again, it's not possible for everyone to do the same thing all the time in every single situation. It just doesn't work like that. So understanding these different leadership styles will definitely help you in developing yourself as a leader, in working on how you lead and manage people. There's also a major difference between leadership and management. Those are also two very different things. And I think a lot of people confuse them all the time. In later episodes, again, I'll get in deeper to the difference between, I'll do a whole episode on the difference between leadership and management. So, but again, I thought this was a great opportunity with this article to point out these 7 traits, how they're all really good things. There's a link to the article below if you want to go check it out in Independent Banker Magazine. But I think, again, knowing and understanding these different leadership styles, how they work together and how sometimes you have to use them separately can really, really help you in how you basically manage whether it's a bank or a company or whatever it may be. If you're running a team, these things will all help you out. So again, we will talk about all these individually in deeper episodes in the months to come. But with that being said, I will wrap up by saying, if you like this episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, as that always helps the channel. Remember, we are on YouTube, Rumble, and all major podcast platforms. Please be sure to leave your comments down below, as I always love getting back to everybody. And as always, make sure to check out some of the other episodes on the channel. I hope everyone has a great day out there. Thank you for listening, and I will see everyone again real soon. Thanks a lot.